Sabrina Watkins. They're dragging Sabrina Carpenter because during her Coachella set, she heard a traditional, like, Arabian yodel.
It's usually a form of congratulations. You just got married. You got an A on your exam. You got the job you were looking for. Whatever it is. If you want to congratulate, you hell.
Sabrina Carpenter, she was ignorant in this situation. Do we blame her? Well, maybe she's never been to an Arabic wedding. Sabrina Carpenter instantly realized she made a mistake.
Sabrina Carpenter Coachella controversy, in which she responded to a fan making a cultural noise in the audience at her performance by saying that's weird, has really demonstrated to me that people are not actually interested in getting an apology or in...
Sabrina Carpenter is being called out for a moment that happened at Coachella during her performance where one of her fans yodeled. I don't know what it's called. And she took their time to respond to her. She said, "Did I hear someone yodel?" And she said, "That's my culture." And then she goes on to say, "That is your culture? I don't like it." And when everything else went down, she later on came online to apologize for her behavior. She wasn't educated enough about that sound. She didn't know, but she apologized for it. And now the internet is divided. You know, some people are still dragging her and some people are defending her. So I'm just going to play with you.
They're dragging Sabrina Carpenter because during her Coachella set, she heard a traditional, like, Arabian yodel. The yodel that a lot of Arab cultures tend to do. I can't do it, don't blame me. I can't do it, my tongue don't move that fast. Someone in her Coachella set, during the Coachella set, I think it was after or before she performed Please, 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 they were doing the yodel. She was like, "Who is that? I don't like that." She made a few comments in regards to the yodel. I can't play the clip here because it's really, really copyrighted. Coachella don't fuck with their clips. If you are posting Coachella clips, they're gonna snatch it off the internet for copyright. So I'm not even gonna insert the clip here, but I'm gonna tell you what she says.
Is that what you're doing?
She's like, "I don't like it." She's like, "I don't like the yodel. That's your culture? It's yodeling?" Then she referred it to the music festival in the desert, Burning Man. When she said, "I don't like it," and the girl in the crowd said, "It's my culture," she's clearly from some Arab culture. I think it's the fact that she heard, "That's my culture," and then she made that face and then went on to ask, "Is this Burning Man?" The girl told you it's her culture, and you're saying, "Is it Burning Man?" I can see how that whole video comes off as xenophobic. Right now, they're whacking her on Twitter. And some of her fans are defending her, saying that it's not that deep. I'm gonna put my opinion on the side and hear the Middle Eastern community speak on this, because I can see how this is insensitive. But I don't know, is it deep to them? The girl was saying that they do that, you know, in celebration. And they're celebrating you at Coachella, Sabrina. I don't know. What do you guys think? To call the Arab mutilation, to say that you don't like it after someone has said it's part of their culture, it's kind of a tone-deaf thing to do. Like, you clearly hear her say it was part of her culture, and you replied you don't like it.
Now the internet is going crazy. They're trashing Sabrina Carpenter. So it wasn't yodeling. It's actually an ancient Arabic tradition. It's called Zagruta, and it's been around for more than 5,000 years. It's a ritual sound made by women, even men sometimes. It's used in celebrations, religious ceremonies, even mourning rituals. There was even evidence of it in the ancient Egypt times, 3,000 years ago. Sabrina Carpenter, she was ignorant in this situation. Do we blame her? Well, maybe she's never been to an Arabic wedding. Sabrina Carpenter instantly realized she made a mistake, that she was ignorant, and got onto her platform and apologized. Tolerance and acceptance is what it's all about. So here's my challenge to you. When you take time to learn more about someone else's culture or religion, you begin to see and understand how they see the world. And if we all just understood each other a little bit more, we may not be in the situation we're in right now. Thank you, Sabrina Carpenter, for that life lesson.
Sabrina! I know that people were upset with what Sabrina said. Purposely tried to offend our culture. I would be really, really, really upset. I'm very proud of my culture. But honestly, I think she was just trying to be funny. Everybody's calling it zarquta, but in Iraq we call it halal. And I have to tell you something. If you can halal, you're a good kisser. So I don't know, Sabrina, can you halal? It's usually a form of congratulations. You just got married. You got an A on your exam. You got the job you were looking for. Whatever it is. If you want to congratulate, you hel. So the traditional way to hel is actually to move your tongue outside your mouth. Move it left and right really fast and go, ah! That's really hard. I do it just up and down. I go like this. really, really fast. And then the key is to have a very high-pitched scream. You don't want to do your normal talking voice and go la 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 la. No, that's not a hel hel. A hel hel is a very high-pitched I think I've been hel-helling too much. Can we please make hel-helling a thing? Because I love it. It's like the best thing ever. Just be careful when you hel-hel because it might get out of control. You might like never stop hel-helling. Sabrina, it's okay. We're not mad at you. I would love to see Sabrina
Carpenter never called that girl's culture weird. A lot of people have been taking this entire situation and twisting it out of context because y'all want views on TikTok. She never said that that girl's culture was weird. I was watching the whole thing go down live, and the girl who was making that noise was doing it completely out of context. It had no place at that point of the set. Sabrina was on the piano. She was about to start a like softer, quieter set, and this girl starts making that sound, and Sabrina hears it and she says like, "Are you yodeling?" And the girl's like, "No, like it's a celebration. It's something from my culture." And at that point she was like, "It's from your culture?" Like she's confused. And then she says, "Are we at Burning Man? Like this is weird." She was trying to process the fact that this crowd was quiet, and at this quiet moment you have someone randomly making that noise. It was completely out of place. And yeah, you can say that it's their culture, you can say that it's a celebration, but what are we celebrating at a point in the set where it's supposed to be quiet? She apologized for it, but I honestly don't think she ever needed to apologize because she never was offensive to anyone's culture. She never outright was being offensive to that person who was making that noise. I have just seen way too many videos of people trying to twist what Sabrina said and make it into something that it's not, because it was never that deep.
What Sabrina Carpenter did was incredibly ignorant, point blank, period. And I really hate that people are trying to make it seem like people who are not happy with her right now are being extra for being mad at her. What she did was incredibly culturally insensitive, and I'm having trouble trying to understand her perspective. Maybe the Anya was blocking a lot of what Sabrina Carpenter could hear, but the fact that she thought the girl was yodeling, and the girl was like, "That's part of my culture," and she was like, "Yodeling is your culture?" Yodeling is culturally significant to people. What are you talking about, girl? And you're a musician too. There's no issue with Sabrina Carpenter not understanding fully what's happening, but for her to sound so ignorant, and then for her to be like, "That's my culture," for somebody to be front row, probably very close to the stage, waited all day to hear you, for you to be like, "That's your culture," that's a little bit disrespectful, girl. There are so many different sounds in the world that sound just like that. So many different cultures cheer in that way, that when I hear something like that, I'm like, "Oh, period, girl." If I was Sabrina Carpenter, I would have been so happy that someone decided to share their cultural element with me, right? There are so many people who are like, "Y'all trying to cancel Sabrina Carpenter." Well, she was culturally ignorant, so she should be held accountable for what's happening. I don't know what to tell you. I'm America down, just how Tim McCray's Canadian down, right? You know, parents from the US, grandparents from the US, great-grandparents from the US, and everything, okay? And it's like, even I recognize that what that girl was doing was something positive. Did I know the name for it? No. If I was in Sabrina Carpenter's position, I wouldn't have been like, "Oh, what is that? That's Burning Man?" Like, that just felt wrong. Maybe me and her live in two different Americas, because in my America, it's very culturally diverse. I'm hearing people do things that at certain events versus her, I guess, shit about that life. Actual yodeling is cultural. The zaruta, zagruta, that what it's called, that is cultural. Or have you never performed outside of the country? Like, I feel like as an artist performed around the world, you should know of other sounds that are not like woo or claps, you know, that express good job, express
Knowing
excitement.
what the sound was when I first heard it, I loved her initial reaction. I thought it was so funny because it's so true. We don't have to like it. She was like, "Ugh, I don't like that." If you haven't seen the video, I can't play it because they are taking it down everywhere for copyright, because they don't want people to see it. But you can find it. Someone writes, "Sabrina saying that she doesn't like a cultural Arabic cheer. This is so insensitive and Islamophobic. I am very disappointed in her." She did not have to apologize. "My apologies. I didn't see this person with my eyes and couldn't hear clearly. My reaction was pure confusion, sarcasm, and not ill-intended. Could have handled it better. Now I know what a zagruta is. I welcome all cheers and yodels from here on out." No, we don't have to. We don't have to like all parts of all cultures. We don't. Not liking a super obnoxious sound is not insensitive. It's not racist. It's not Islamophobic. It's okay. It's okay to not like a really obnoxious sound that's not a part of your culture. And I promise they aren't accepting and looking for ways to incorporate our culture into their countries or into their culture.
So we should probably figure that out pretty soon.
Funniest thing about this whole Sabrina Carpenter thing is y'all cannot clock microaggression. It's just subtle enough so that you can play dumb. Because she didn't have to say anything. This was happening during an intermission, and I think that's what people fail to realize. Several people were screaming things out. What the woman was doing, I'm sorry, I don't know what it's called. I know it's not yodeling. I don't want to call it something it's not. But whatever the woman was doing that was culturally significant happened like twice, and it was quick during an intermission while other people were screaming. She literally could have just started performing, but she made it a point to stop and make this a big deal. She wanted to embarrass that girl. Period. End of story. She didn't have to say anything. And say she was confused after she said that it was her culture. How can y'all not clock the microaggression? I don't like it. That's weird. Yodeling is your culture? We gotta stop expecting the white blondes to give a fuck about your culture. Microaggression is there to make you feel uncomfortable. Microaggression is there to be discriminatory. Microaggression is there to exclude you out of society and make you feel taboo. That is how white supremacy is upheld, making everything non-white weird. But microaggression is always just subtle enough to where you guys will make excuses for it because you can't clock the bullshit. You have to think about how these situations create an overall experience for people of color. Imagine working with her and being around her, and everything that you do that is different or cultural or anything that has to do with yourself, she reacts that way. Sarcastic, making you feel weird and uncomfortable for doing things that are out of her norm or out of the white norm. And then again, just subtle enough so she can play dumb. Oh, well, I didn't know. You guys get played.
I don't get to decide when things are a joke or telling someone not to be dramatic when it's not your culture that was being disrespected. I'm seeing a lot of palm-colored people say like, oh, what Sabrina Carpenter did wasn't that serious. Y'all can't take a joke, da-da-da-da-da. It's like, where was the joke? Was the joke there? Like, I'm so confused. And sis didn't even try to clean it up. After she found out that that was that girl's culture, she'd have been like, oh, hold on, diva. You know what? Let me come correct. Because I don't ever want to come off disrespectful. My apologies. And kept it at that. But who the fuck are y'all to sit here and tell somebody else about their culture that they shouldn't be dramatic or it's a joke?
Even though I'm a Sabrina Carpenter fan, I don't think that she was acting out of humor or because she was shocked. Like, to me, it was just screaming mean girl and insensitive. Because I have seen all her interviews. I've watched hundreds and hundreds of clips from her performances. I know how she acts on social media, and that is not her humor in the slightest. And when I watched the live stream at Coachella, because I watched it in real time, like, immediately I knew something was off. Like, you can see the disgust in her face. And if you don't believe me, go watch the video. It just felt gross to me. And then when I went online and learned about how it was a call and it's part of a culture, it, like, everything kind of clicked in my head. But, like, I don't think I've ever seen her act like that. I feel like maybe it was, like, a little bit of her facade coming down. I don't know what it was, but
okay, this is my take on the Sabrina Carpenter yodeling Coachella thing. And I want, like, if you don't agree with me, I understand why. And I'm not going to tell anybody how to feel. Like, if you feel mad about it, you have a right to feel mad, of course. Everyone's entitled to their feelings and their perspective. But what I'm going to say is, do you guys really think that Sabrina Carpenter would do something racist when there's cameras getting her at every single angle on one of the biggest stages of her career? No. I don't think that doesn't sound smart to me. I don't think she would do that. People who are racist are extremely two-faced. They don't, want to get caught via camera or whatever. So no, that's not what happened. What I do think happened is, I think that she was performing and people were making loud, obnoxious noises at her, and it was annoying her. And I think she doesn't want to say that part. I don't think she heard them say that it was an Arab call. Which, yeah, that does not look good for her. She should have, I don't know. But I don't think she heard that part of it. But she called it weird, which is, it gives, like, ignorant white girl, I don't know what things are. But it doesn't give, I'm a racist piece of shit. And as the age-old saying goes, Don't tell me this while Chris Brown is still touring. Chris Brown is going on a world tour right now. Don't tell me this while Mel Gibson is still so beloved in the culture. Like, I'm sorry. Like, what she did was rude and ignorant, but she wasn't being racist. I think we all know she wasn't being racist. She was being annoyed and rude and ignorant. And guess what? Sabrina's human, and Sabrina is allowed to get annoyed and be ignorant because we all get annoyed and ignorant sometimes.
Sabrina Carpenter just responded to all the backlash she's receiving after mocking Arabic culture during her Coachella performance. She responded to this creator by saying, "My apologies, I didn't see this person with my eyes and couldn't hear clearly. My reaction was pure confusion, sarcasm, and not ill-intended. Could have handled it better. Now I know what a zagruta is. I welcome all cheers and yodels from here on out." And other fans caught it. They're saying you couldn't hear it clearly, but it was clear enough to respond like this, and you're still calling it a zagruta as a yodel? Yikes. It looks like her team also went on and removed any sort of video evidence of that footage. I mean, any viral video with that clip got taken down. They also edited out the YouTube live stream. Now, she's definitely apologizing because it became such a huge backlash, but this is up to the Arabic and Native American community to discuss within themselves if they're gonna forgive her.
I truly wish that these celebrities would just come on the internet and say, you know what, I actually don't care. I am a bitch, actually. And I don't care. And I do think it's weird. I'd respect that more than Sabrina literally playing in our faces saying, I didn't hear anything she was saying. Girl, we watched you have a full-blown conversation with this person. This person, by the way, who is the reason why you are on that stage. Coachella is not easy. It's expensive. It's time-consuming. The person who was in there, okay, you know how close you have to be able to have a back and forth with a performer like that? That means that that person was probably barricaded or close to it, which means that she has been standing in that spot for 12 hours, probably, to see her perform. Just to get humiliated in front of millions of people by this, like, entitled brat. She's a brat. Let's be so for real. And, like, her stage persona and her actual persona are so different that it feels disingenuous. Because on stage, she's like, I'm so sweet. I'm so cute. I'm so cute and little and sweet. But she's mean. Like, she's objectively a mean person. Like, what does that look like? You're looking... Why would you look at someone like that who is paying your bills? Literally paying your bills. Because she's there to see you. Because she likes you and she loves your music. So you, in turn, humiliate her in front of all these people. Like, ground beef is $9 a pound. And they're spending their money to see you. And this is what you give them. Okay. Nope. I'm just thinking out loud.
Carpenter Coachella controversy in which she responded to a fan making a cultural noise in the audience at her performance by saying that's weird, has really demonstrated to me that people are not actually interested in getting an apology or in holding people accountable. They just want to be mad. And they're just looking for reasons to be mad on the internet and to be a keyboard warrior in defense of what they think is justice. Because regardless of what you think about the situation and whether or not you think that Sabrina Carpenter handled the situation appropriately, she came on the internet in less than 24 hours after the events transpired and posted an apology in which she said, I'm sorry, I didn't know what was going on, but I have now educated myself and I know about that call and the significance of that call, and you are welcome to do that call at any of my future performances, right? And I still see people on the internet saying, well, that wasn't a genuine apology. And, well, she didn't mean that. What does that even mean? What do you even mean that wasn't a genuine apology? What would be a genuine apology to you? Like, what would you have her do? What would satisfy you in this particular situation? She can't go back in time and respond differently to that individual. She can acknowledge that it was wrong and change her behavior by encouraging people to express themselves however they want at her concert. And she has done that. So I genuinely don't know what else she could possibly do at this point. I think that people are just primed to hate for one reason or another, and they find a thing and they cling to that thing. This is very similar to the Chapel Roan security guard situation, but the internet is so interesting.
Internet matters, just like impact. You know, even if Sabrina Carpenter didn't mean to disrespect this lady's culture or didn't understand the culture or even didn't mean it in a negative way, dismissing somebody else's culture, because she said it, that's part of my culture, dismissing somebody else's culture, especially on a big stage like that, comes off rude. Comes off rude, even if you don't mean to or didn't mean to be rude. You know what I mean? And also, we have to remember that context also matter. This happened on a big stage where she was live performing, and things move fast, and not every reaction is going to be thought out perfectly. You know what I mean? So she probably didn't think about what she was saying. She just reacted to it. And then to her ear, she didn't like the sound. You know what I mean? And to her credit, she did come out to apologize after realizing the situation. So that should count for something. Strongly didn't think that she intentionally wanted to embarrass this lady or make a mockery out of her. I don't think so. I just think she was on stage, she was performing, she was in the mood, everything was just moving fast. She just didn't think clearly. She just said it without actually thinking about it. You know what I mean? I think she doesn't deserve this much backlash, and she apologized. We can either accept it or not. We have to move on. We should just give her grace. It didn't even take her a whole 24 hours for her to come and issue an apology. We should give her grace. She learned her lesson, and I don't think she will repeat this mistake ever again. Let me know what you think about this story down in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in my next video.